Hi everybody, welcome back once again to this week's My Weekly Rage Fix. Hope you all had a wonderful Shabbos holiday and I hope it was very sweet for you and your family. In this week's Parsha, in this week's Torah portion, Parshas Bahaloscha, we read about how Aaron and Miriam, Moses' siblings, spoke evilly of Moses and how he had separated from his wife. And the Torah tells us an incredible verse that right after that says that Moses was the most humble person to ever have lived. Moses was more humble than any man. So I just want to speak to you about what it means to be humble. A lot of people think humble means, who am I? I'm a nobody, no big deal. I don't care if people step on me. I'm not going to respond back. I hear insults. I don't, because I'm a nobody. And, doesn't matter who am I. But that's not the Torah's definition of humble. It is a level of humbleness, but that's not humility. Humility, from a Torah perspective, is somebody who is aware of Hashem at all times. And this has ramifications because being aware of Hashem makes you humble that you don't want to act or do anything. But at the same time, being humble also means that you will act because of your awareness of Hashem. Take, for example, King David. When King David was just a boy, when King David was just a boy, King Saul, the king, was looking for somebody who had the ability and the strength and the might to be able to go fight against Goliath, the great giant. He was only about 8 feet tall, but he was much taller than King David. But he was incredibly strong, and he was 12 feet tall, and nobody wanted to stand up against him. And King David eventually stepped forward to make a quick, long story short, and he says, You're very short. How can you beat him up? So he says, Are you kidding me? Even a bear and a lion, your humble servant was able to be stronger than. It was able to overcome them as well. So he says, yeah, maybe a bear and a lion. How could you know with Goliath that you can? And he said, the same God that helped me defeat the bear and the lion from the sheep will certainly help me save the Jewish people, who are Hashem's sheep, from Goliath. And he went on and he beat him in battle, as everybody may know. So, was he being arrogant? The answer is he wasn't being arrogant. He was actually being very humble. Why? Because he knew that he had to do something for Hashem. And he was acting on behalf of his Creator, on behalf of his God. And humility then means to be aware of Hashem and to act for Hashem. Moses was an even more humble person. He had even more humility than King David did. And when his sister and his brothers spoke against him, of course in a more respectful fashion that we should understand it on the surface, so Moses reacted with humbleness. Being humble means that a lot of times you don't want to just react and shout out or get angry or do something, but the idea of being humble is that you recognize that you're standing in front of God. And if you get a message, it's because Hashem is really sending you that message, and the people that sent it to you are just God's emissaries. So Moses is being humble, and the lesson of humility is the more awareness we have of Hashem, the more humble we can be. Hope everybody has a great Shabbos. I'll talk to you next week.